It's an update on the Astro Van Build here. So you can't just jump into this and start building. At least I can't, because I need to make room in this tiny garage workspace I have. And if you recall, and by the way, I did a video on this, I posted on Instagram yesterday. I'm hoping this one will be better. But if you recall, there was this system I had in here that was 2 boxes with a deck on it. And that was designed to be a solid work surface when I was out in the field working. I only ever used it a couple times, but it had a solid cherry frame to it, 1/2-inch top, runner down the center, real rigid, real strong, perfectly flat. And I had to have a place to put that. And in here, I had made these dollies years ago where I had this collapsible table set up. Had those 2 sawhorses, one on each one of these dollies. And then I had this piece of plywood with this frame under it. And over time, it actually sagged. It wasn't perfect. It worked fine. And I didn't really break it down very often. So what I did was I took the 2 boxes, I cut them in half, turned them into legs, got a top on there, and then this is the platform that was supporting the mattress in the van before, and then I just flipped this piece of plywood over. So now I've got a nice rigid thing here that actually houses my spare chop saw, which was a big deal because I used to hang it from that beam up there, and the last time I had to take it down, which was about a month ago, I really felt my age that day on a ladder trying to get that thing down. So this is easier. This thing's more rigid. I'm going to have storage in these side boxes. I'm kind of excited about it. And I actually have a place now for my toolbox where I can just feed out of that. It's going to be easier. And that's just a mess of garbage I got to clean up. But back to the Astro Van and some tips here. And an idea, and I'm going to ask you guys some questions in a minute. But for one thing, when you take the rubber off the sides, people were asking me what I use to remove the goop on there, the stickum. This is like a rubber eraser. One of the guys, one of the forums turned me onto it. I picked it up off of Amazon. So now you know what that looks like. Brackets. I'm seeing a lot of guys do builds and they're using simple L brackets. There's nothing wrong with that. On the driver's side here, this is a furniture bracket. This is for chairs, and you can see right away, you should be able to determine in your mind that this is a lot stronger, and it is. This here I could flatten out, this you can't. So these are, I believe they're called chair brackets. It's something from the furniture world. This is, you know, I don't build furniture using these, I use real joinery. But I picked these up for a project where I had to install some cabinets, and this was a lot stronger, so that's what I went with. And if you're going to do a van build, it might be something you want to consider. On the bolts that hold the seat belts in, you know, maybe you don't have a Torx. Well, a 1/4-inch Allen head key fits right in there with no play. You're not going to strip it out. That's what I used. I had 0 problems. Some of those things were really stuck on there. At 1/4-inch standard, Allen key was able to remove those. I picked up some nice shiny new, it's a blinker housing, and this came in the box, which are those other side markers. I had an '05 Astro Van before this, and it had those square kind of headlights, so I didn't have that. When I took this out of the box, I looked at it and I went, what am I, being pumped? There's no hole here. There's no hole here. How do you get a light in there? And I guess I was, you know, kind of stupid. Ignorant, I guess, is a better word. Ignorant and stupid are not the same thing. Ignorance is a result of a lack of curiosity combined with laziness. Doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means you're not taking the time to look into things. Nobody can know everything about everything. Anyhow, so I looked at the van, turned on all the lights, and I realized that is strictly decorative. So what I'm thinking is, I'm seeing these off-road bumpers now with all these LED lights, these really teeny tiny LED lights. Just want to show you what my front lights look like. They're pretty faded, you know, so that's going to look a lot nicer in there. And I'm thinking on the bottoms I may tint those orange, by the way, the new ones when I put them in. But I'm thinking about these side markers, and what I'm wondering is, well, they're, you know, fake, decorative. What I'm wondering is, does anybody put a light in there? Because I'm thinking there's these really super bright mini LED lights that people are installing in bumpers. I think you could probably drill a hole in here and make that work. What do you think? I think that's a possibility. You know, you might be able to angle them where they're pretty straight, because on the van these are mounted on an angle, but that's okay too if they shoot off on an angle, because if you're off-road, like I tend to do, you're going to have more of an angled light off to the sides. I think that's a smart idea. So has anybody done it? This is my question. Have you done that? Anybody else thought about it? I'm going to look, those LED lights are pretty inexpensive, so I'm going to look at buying some of them, and I'm going to put these on my van, and then I'll toy with the ones I'm pulling off, and we'll see how that works out, and I'll keep you all posted. Anyhow, a couple tips. Tool that works, option for brackets. The build is happening. These are the channeled out sections from the boxes. I was able to create these trays. So in these 2 trays is all the stuff that was in those boxes. Some extra food and whatnot, recovery items, stuff I may need for the van, oil and whatnot. You know, bag there, piss bottle, some tools. You get the picture. Skateboard's always in here. So stay tuned. It's coming. I promise. Bye.